Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Tom Rivera, and I'm part of the committee. The committee is the exploring the oral history of Colton from 1990 to 1960, and we're here at the Fowle Library on the fourth floor, and we have the dean of the library to do the welcome for us, and that's Mr. Cesar Caballero. Cesar, thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you, thank you. I noticed you didn't say Associate VP, you said Mr. Caballero, but it's okay. Next time. Thank you. Welcome to the library, John M. Fowle Library here at Cal State San Bernardino, home of the headquarters for the Colton Oral History Project. We're very proud to be sponsoring this project, along with, of course, the folks in the committee, folks from Colton. And I'm very excited to have Mel Salazar here, who's going to talk to us about his mother and other important leaders from the Colton community. Again, welcome, and I'm sure that today's proceedings are going to be very important to building the oral history collection that has been started here by Dr. Rivera and others. That I'm sure will be extremely valuable in creating a valuable history for future generations.
Well, thank you, Cesar. We truly appreciate your support, especially in the realm of putting this project into the archives, where it'll be available not only to our students here at Cal State, but also the community at large. So thank you so much.
Well,
and our guest, as I mentioned before, our guest this afternoon is Mr. Mel Salazar. And Mel, welcome to Cal State.
Thank you.
And
Pleasure
thank you
to be
for
here.
being with us this afternoon. Mel,
Thank you.
let's kick off the interview.
Mhm.
And you mentioned that recently
Mhm.
your mom was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Tell us about.
Well, I nominated her, and there was six, and they picked four out of the six, and my mom was, I'm gonna say lucky, because she was gonna get in there. The way I set it up, there's no way they could have said no. Because there's some that, if you don't make it this year, you can put it in next year.
Mhm.
But I did this just because years ago, I found two little small snapshots, and my mom was in uniform, and I still have that uniform. And they got the ball rolling. Back in '98, they had the Colton books that were written by 5 individuals from Colton. Bobby Vasquez was one of them, and I gave the picture and the story, and they published that. And then several years ago, with a project here at Cal State, I saw, but I thought it was just going to be men's teams until I saw women's. I says, click. So I got all my mom's stuff. I brought her uniform and all the info I had on her, and they did a great job.
For the Latino Baseball History Project.
Yes, the books
Which
right
resulted
there.
in this book.
Right, right.
And your mom is in this book, Mel?
Yes,
What page is she on?
33.
Uh-huh.
Did you want
Page-
to?
No, that's okay.
Anyway, 33, and then she's towards the last, and that's her recent picture with her uniform. She's
And what
now
was your
89.
mom's name, Mel?
Carmen Lujan. They used to call her Carmi.
Uh-huh.
And
Is she a Coltonite?
yeah, she wasn't born in Colton, but she was here since she was 3.
Okay.
But the whole family was here on Walnut Street, which was a dirt road, like a lot of streets there in Colton, where, you know, it's like you mentioned one time, the Mexicanos were invisible. You know, they paid their property
Taxes.
taxes, but as kids, it was dirt. And when my mom, in fact, the picture she has where it was a dirt road. We called it, later on, I called it Tobacco Road, you know. And that's the way it was, you know. We were invisible. We didn't get the good stuff.
Yeah, but we got the rain and the mud during
Oh,
the
yeah,
rainy season, so no problem.
But-
Listen, tell me about, how old was your mom when she started playing ball?
Well, according to what I read, it was back in '36, and she played till '39, and then she again after the war, because my dad died of rheumatic fever. He didn't die, you know, fighting. He was drafted late. He was already like in his middle 20s, and the reason for that is because he already had 2 kids. He worked for Consolidated in San Diego, which was a government job. They built planes. But within a year, that's when he died. So,
Mhm.
But my mom was already playing ball before that, and then after the war, that's when she was playing with the Cherokees in San Bernardino.
So más o menos, how old was she in 36 when she started?
Oh, she was 12, 13.
12 years old?
Yeah. That's why during the induction, I wrote down, I said, well, she and that team are the first all-Latina. I said, that is a legacy they left. And now you look at Carimba, and they got big leagues there. Ken Hubbs has the softball league.
You've done some research on your mom's team.
Right.
Were they all from Colton?
They were all, those, yeah. Not, the Cherokees, there was 3.
No, but when
Oh,
they
yeah,
started
the
ball game.
Senoritas, yeah.
The name of the team was Senoritas?
Yeah, somebody was telling me, they were the Mercury Senoritas, and then somebody told me they were the Mercurettes, but in her uniform, it says Mercury Senoritas, so
Okay.
I'm going by
all
that.
right, all right.
In fact, they had the Mercury name before the men's team had it.
Now, the men's team started in 39,
Yeah.
so I guess they started in 36.
Yeah.
But tell me some of the names of the girls that played with your mom.
Yeah. Got them right here. One of them was Lucy. Just barely found out her name was Lucy, like my wife, but they called her Chita Garcia. And then there was Luz and Linda Arredondo, Mary Rivas. I found her daughter. Mary Rosales, who's related to Robert Rosales and
Beto.
Beto.
Yeah.
That's Robert and Socorro and them. I know them well. Then there was Estela Pimentel, who married my mom's brother. So she became a Lujan afterwards, but she was on the team. Mary Soto, she married Pancho Chavez, Frank Chavez.
Chavez.
And Betty Caldera is the only one that haven't found a picture of her. She lives in Hawaii. I heard she's the only other one that's still alive. She lives with a sister. I've talked to her nephew and a lot of people, and they don't know anything. So I'm just hoping to get a picture. In fact, what I was going to do, I called Harvey Kahn. I don't know if you know Harvey Kahn. He's a writer for Courier, and he does a lot of sports stuff.
Mhm.
In fact, he gave me a signed ball by Camilo Carrion, who's my wife's uncle, who was a major league ball player for the White Sox.
Mhm.
And I'm going to get a hold of him to set up an article. Where are they? You know, I'll give him all the info, and maybe somebody will read it and say, "Oh yeah, I know
Mhm.
the grandkids or the wife or somebody," so I can get back. So I want the family there during the induction. You know,
Oh, now, when is the induction?
it's going to be in April. I don't have the definite date,
Okay.
but I'm working with
And that's with the city of Colton?
City of Colton. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So right now that's where I'm at, but I've got time to get that last picture, and I got to set it up. How am I going to put it in the plaque? Because it's a beautiful, beautiful place. If you ever go in, it's nice.
I was going to ask you, who did they play against? What teams did they play against?
They played against San Bernardino, Riverside, Belltown, Casablanca, where my dad was from, which was a rough area back in the 40s, and that's who they played. In fact, I went to Casablanca the other day to look for my dad's, where he lived, for my grandma. And I remember as a kid, the ballpark was like across the street, maybe a block away. Well,
Mhm.
I couldn't find the field, but there was a school there, and then way in the side, I could see an old ballpark, and I'm pretty sure that was the old ballpark.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
found the house, but it didn't even look like it,
Mm.
because they tore it down and put a,
So they had an active schedule, right?
yeah.
When they
yeah,
played all those teams to the different
Right.
areas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't Southern California, it was just the Inland Empire,
Mhm.
because they were pretty young, you know.
And how many years did your mom play?
Well, I'm thinking from 36 to 39. The exact years, I'm not too for sure, because, you
Okay.
know, I didn't get a lot of the information. My mom now got dementia, so there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. But I know she did play, and I have her uniform is the proof.
Now, you know, back in those days, females were not allowed to
Oh,
play ball or leave the
Yeah.
house.
it wasn't feminine.
How did she manage to? She must have had liberal parents.
Yeah, well, my grandpa was very strict, so I don't know. But like I say, I wasn't there. But there's a story in those monthly things that they send out where a lot of women weren't allowed because they were girls, you know.
Right.
And back
Well,
then,
especially in Mexican culture.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So But my mom played for several years,
Mhm.
and
What position did she play?
that I didn't know until I talked to my Estela
Mhm.
Pimentel, who eventually married my mom's brother. And she just died about 3 months ago, but I asked her before that, what position? She said third base, so I gotta go by that.
Okay.
I heard Chita Garcia was a pitcher. Very good ball player.
Mhm.
Luz Arredondo was huge. I mean, compared to my mom, of course my mom isn't tall, but she must have been at least 5'10", maybe.
Well, the
Pretty good
Arredondo
size.
family is very, very
Yeah.
tall.
5'10".
Yeah,
Well, I heard there was a Johnny, her brother was a big, tall guy.
Yeah, they were all, Manuel
Yeah.
and everybody else, they
Yeah.
were very tall people.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But there were several other girls, Mary Soto, Mary Rivas,
Mhm.
and Betty, I want to get at least a picture, even if I can't get the family there,
Mhm.
so I can make the picture they're gonna put on the plaque, because I never could find a team picture. I found Cherokee, but there's only 3 girls there that are from Fulton. I can't use that,
Mhm.
so I'll just make up my own and make sure I have all their
You
pictures.
mentioned that your mom played till 1939, and then she played afterwards, you said.
Well, she was in high school till 41. She was a sophomore. I think she was a sophomore. And then voila, I was born the next year.
Uh-huh.
So that's when ended her high school career as a sophomore.
Mhm.
And then she got married, but in 1945 is when it was me and my brother. And like I say, he died in 45, just a little before the war ended, of rheumatic fever. If it would have happened now, he'd probably still be alive.
Mhm, mhm,
But he was in Fort Lewis, Washington, with nobody. He died by himself, and that's what kind of,
mhm,
but it was that quick.
mhm.
So,
And then did your mom play ball after that?
yeah, with the Cherokees. That-
And
the-
what years were those, Mel?
Those are, I'm thinking, for 3 years, I think 45, 46, 47. right
Okay.
around there.
Up until the late 40s.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they were called the Cherokees?
the Cherokees.
Yeah.
But that was a group of, like a travel ball, like that traveled, and they get kids from different cities.
Mhm,
Yeah, so that's what she did.
mhm.
But like I said, I never heard about that until I found those little 2 snapshots of my mom and her picture. She has one where she's like this, and another one she's like a first baseman, third baseman, waiting for the throw.
Do you know what her batting average was?
Oh, no. No,
We can't make one up?
yeah, probably 650. Yeah, but, and like I say, I don't know, I was gonna set up this induction or this nomination for my mom, just her. But I'm thinking, what about all those other girls that people have forgotten? A lot of their kids probably didn't even know they played. I found that out, that they didn't even know they played ball.
Well, you know, I was surprised when I saw your mom's picture
Yeah.
in the Rudy Serrano and Bobby Vasquez and Rudy Oliva
Yeah.
monograms that we had a female baseball team. And
Yeah.
I said, I'll be darned, I better
Yeah.
check into this one.
Yeah.
And in talking to your mom,
Mhm.
did she ever talk about wonderful memories that she had about playing baseball?
You know, when I found those pictures, I was already an adult. And she never talked about, she used to say, well, yeah, I used to play ball, but I thought it was at school, you know, GAA, because even the high schools didn't have teams. The boys did, where they play other schools, but GAA was just intramural.
Mhm.
So,
Now, what's GAA?
Girls Athletic Association.
Okay, at the high school.
Yeah, you
Okay.
see the old annuals, they're just there in their white tops,
Uh-huh.
but they wasn't, they didn't play other
Mhm.
cities.
Mhm.
They just amongst themselves.
Okay.
But now they have them all. They got soccer, softball,
Mhm.
codes. I mean, they've been champions for a lot.
But she never mentioned any wonderful memories she had about being a ball player.
Oh yeah, just that she enjoyed it, and you know the women she played with. But as she got older and I got more interested, by that time her dementia started, and I don't remember. Oh yeah, she did play ball, but but right now, as long as she still knows me, I'm happy.
Yeah. When did her dementia start?
She's 89, she'll be 90 this year.
Oh, okay,
So I'm saying a good 5, 6 years ago, where it was really starting getting,
Mhm.
but,
Yeah.
but like a lot of that stuff was before I was born, and
Yeah.
when I was only 3, so I don't know a lot.
I was gonna ask you, you mentioned a few minutes ago that there were a lot of good ball players in Colton. You know, we had a lot of
Oh.
people that came from our barrios and were able to play in sports and participate in sports. Besides your mom, who else can, and beside the girls that played on her team, who else can you remember as growing up, there were good ball players or good representative of Colton in the sports area?
Well, I'd have to start with Camilo Carrion.
Who is Camilo Carrion?
He was my wife's uncle. They had, Socorro Carrion was his mom, but Socorro was my mother-in-law's mom from a different husband. She was a Rodriguez, but her dad died and then married Miguel Carrion, who was Camilo's. So it was half-brother, but they're still the same mom.
So Camilo was born and raised in Colton,
Exactly.
went to Garfield's High School.
Yeah.
Went to Wilson Junior High School.
Yes,
Went to Colton High School.
right.
And
Graduated in
was a-
56.
Was a four-year letterman at Colton High
Oh,
School.
yeah, 4-year, all the sports. He was like pre-Kenny Hubbs.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-Kenny Hubbs, and I think he was drafted, and he was, I think the first year that he played Major League Ball was in 59.
Mm-hmm.
And they had just brought him up to the major. In 59, the White Sox went to the World Series, but he didn't go because they had brought him up too late.
Mm.
So, but he played
And
several years.
How long did he play with
With the White Sox, he was, I think, 4 years, and then he went to Baltimore 1 year. No, to Cleveland a few years. He played a total of 6, 7 years total.
Mhm.
And, but he wound up retiring at, I think it was Baltimore. But he wound up retiring at Tucson.
Mhm.
His boy, Mark Carrion, made the majors. And I've told everybody, because he played for the Mets, he played for Detroit 1 year, and then he went to San Francisco, got to play with Barry Bonds.
Mhm.
And, and he played a few more years longer, but I don't know of any other, I'm talking about Chicano. There was a lot of blacks and a lot of Puerto Ricans, father and son, maybe, like I say, other Latinos, but Chicanos born and raised in California or in wherever. I don't know of any, I can't name one other father and son
Mm.
besides the Carriones.
Besides Camilo, and we do have a street in Colton named after.
Yes.
Carrion Street, Carrion
Right.
Boulevard.
Right.
What other heroes do we have that came from Colton?
Well, if you want to go, well, I knew the Abril twins. I didn't know them that well. I know them now. In fact, one of them lives up the street from me, Manuel and Ernie. They graduated, I think, in 1950, 51. But I've heard through the grapevine, those guys were better than Camilo and better than Kenny Hubbs. I hate to say it, but that's what I've heard.
Mhm.
Their problem is when you get twins, exact twins, one's a lefty, one's a righty, I think they call them mirror twins or something, there's a word for that. So they were both drafted, they played in the minors, and one of them was doing a little better than the other one. I forget which one, if it was Manuel or Ernie.